Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at VECHAIN. Before we jump into the analysis, I'd just like to say thank you for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. I'm always happy to hear back from you, so why don't you leave us some feedback down below. Interesting to hear from you guys what you think, what your opinion is. Basically, do you think we've set a bottom in here and we are in a new bull run, or do you think that we are still looking for lower prices? Love to hear from you. Okay, so let's get into the price. So what we were looking at last time we looked at this video basically was be looking for this potential to break to the upside here and looking at this as a 1 2 3 4 and then potentially for this fifth wave target. So either once again with a lot of the altcoins we have the same scenario here. We could be getting further extension within these moves, or alternatively there is some corrective ways of reading these. So basically within this move we can argue that we're within a fifth wave that's extending here, and what I'd be looking for in this case is basically looking at this as a wave 3 into here, and then we would have to look at this from this point, I think. So we've actually already moved up to this 1-to-1 zone here, so we'd have to basically look at how this has progressed though, because we'd have to look at this potentially as a 1-2. So if we're looking at as an extension within the fifth wave, what I'd be looking for within these structures here is effectively this is a 1-2, then we'd be looking again here as this potentially as our wave 3 high, looking for a fourth and a fifth wave to the upside. If that is the case, what we'd then be looking for is the potential that we're actually looking to retrace down here. So we've already come down to this 382, and it is possible that this could be a completed move into here, and we could actually start to look to move away. Though the problem is how we've come into this. This looks like a potential for a 5-wave move within here. So it is possible we come actually deeper, where this becomes a 1 or an A, a B, and a C to the downside, and we look to push deeper into this zone. But the typical zone we're looking for as a fourth wave for this, we've actually met that minimum, well, that sort of zone, the criteria for where we'd actually want to go within that move. So we've come into this little zone, you have this 2021 to this 1978. So if this is the case, what we would then actually be looking for is, if we want to be looking at this in a as a fourth wave here, what we would want to see is actually to start to push away from this zone. Effectively within this, we would be looking for a move up to, if I throw this onto this low point here, a move potentially up here to this 02292 to this 02215 would be what I'd be looking for as a fifth wave within this. However, the structure is also a bit worrying with this first move to the downside. We can argue that we had this is a flat correction within here, A, B, C. It is possible that this could be a fourth as a flat, and we've completed and we're actually starting to move away. In which case, what I would actually want to see is a move above this zone here. So if I look at this move in isolation here, I'd say that that's our low point there. I want to see a move back above this 2196, and that would indicate that we're on our way up towards this box area here. If we do get this move up here, then it could, if we look at it in this way, be the completion of a 5-wave move. And then what we'd be looking for effectively would be to see whether we actually start to break down deeper within this. And what we'd want to see, if we're looking for bullish continuation of this, is effectively to, depending exactly where we move within this, but to come back down towards this 50% to the 786 region. So if I slide this over a little bit, this 1665 area would be sort of the lower range that we'd want to travel with the retracement from here. So it is possible that we can have this additional fifth wave to the upside here. But if we do start to break down from our current position, we can also potentially argue that we've completed within here somewhere. It wouldn't really make sense. I'd want to see at least another leg to the upside. The only way it would make sense is if this was a corrective structure as an ABC, so that would be a W, X, and a Y. And if that's the case, what we'd be looking for is actually to break down from our current location much deeper within this. So if we do look to actually break down deeper within this move, what we'd be looking for is effectively this 50% to this So this 1821 area, this 0.618 is also quite an interesting zone here with these previous support. And what we'd be looking for then is potentially the fact that this could just be either an A wave to the upside, looking for that B wave retracement, and then looking to push back up. However, we would have to be careful for impulsive structure here to the downside. If we started to take out some of these zones, then we could actually be looking for an additional leg down here. And the way that we're going to go over some the macro side of it in a second, but basically if we start to break down, it is possible that we could be setting up for a bigger 5-wave move to the downside. So we need to just see how this reacts, because if we do start to form this is a wave 1, 2, then we break down with a deeper wave 3, get that rejection for a 4th and a 5th, then it's possible that actually what we are forming is a bigger zigzag pattern, and we're going to carry on to the downside. So we just need to give it a bit of time and see how the waves react. From there we can gauge how we're going and sort of see where we think it's going to go from there. If I just turn this off for a second, there is also another way we can look at this, and what we'd want to do is basically, I'm just going to throw this into a group quickly so I can just turn it off. Let's turn that off. So looking at this move to the upside, we can also look at it in a different way, and we could look for us being still in a bigger 5-wave move. But what we want to see then is basically what we could do is look at this as a 1, 2, put that up there for now, and then what we'd be looking for is the potential we're in a bigger 5-wave move here, where we actually look at that as a 1, 2, and then from this point here, this low point, we look at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there. This potentially is a 2, and then we could actually be still within a bigger structure here. So pretty much the same idea for that that 5th wave to the upside. We could be looking for this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So still looking to push up if this is a completed move here. Let me get it right on this high point here. Still looking potentially to move up to this 2291 to this 2215. And then looking for support again for a 4th wave. So there is potential we could be extending out here and we actually have a bigger structure developing, though we need more confirmation of that. So because we can also count this as an A, a B, and then potentially this C wave completes a corrective move, and then we actually look to break down. So if we are looking for this, we'd look to push up into this zone here of this 2291 to this 2215, and then look for support for this 4th wave. This 4th wave support should come out in this zone, and that should be over here. So let's go to the middle of that move. Potential, yeah, there we go. So the lowest range, well, the range we'd want to see for this basically is between this 236 and sort of lower range would be this 50%. That's sort of where we'd want to find support on this 4th wave if it plays out on this yellow 4th wave here. Effectively, this would then make us look for some continuation to the upside in a bigger 5-wave move. And then we'd be looking at, like I said, so we'd have this thing again potentially as a 1, 2. All of this would become a 3rd of a 3rd, 4th, and a 5th. Then that would complete this yellow 3rd wave. We'd look for this support, and then we'd look for that continuation. The important thing here is managing to find these support zones. If we fail to find these support zones, then it's actually possible that, like I said, we could instead just look at this whole move here as a 3-wave move. We don't manage to form that 4th, and actually then we just start to break down. So a confirmation of sort of the fact that we're not going to get any extension would come first by crossing this 1742. That would be the first thing I'd want to see, and then alternatively dropping below this 1533 again would actually start to indicate that we can't see any bullish structure off here. So that's just something we need to bear in mind. If we do develop a 5-wave move to the upside, as we've got shown here, then what we would be looking for is actually the potential to form a bigger zigzag here, and that would be what my primary expectation would be that we're forming a bigger zigzag to the upside, and then this effectively would all become an A wave. We'd look for that B, and then we'd look for that C wave. So we need to be careful, because even forming a bigger zigzag to the upside here wouldn't invalidate the potential of continuing to the downside. If I come back here onto the daily quick, It depends on the size of this 5-wave move, really. What I'd want to see if we're looking at this potential is to actually move back above this high point here of this 28.46. Moving back above that would then indicate that we are potentially completed this move into this low point, but really until we cross back above here, we could still have further extension, because I'm treating this as the 4th wave high, this 33.87. However, it is possible as well that we could have this 4th wave over here. So we just need to give it a bit more time and see how this plays out, because what we were looking for initially within this was the potential for a diagonal. And if I throw this on here, which one is it? This one. So this is for the second diagonal. 1 second. So this would be this one. So within this move, effectively what we were looking for is the potential, if I delete all of this for now, is the potential that we were actually setting up for a 4th wave here. And looking at this as a 1 into here, 2, all of this would have been a 3rd wave as a zigzag, basically a 5, 3, 5 into this bottom point. And then actually looking for the fact of forming another zigzag here to cross this wave 1. However, moving back above here, this point here, this 28.46 would invalidate this potential, and then we would have to change our structure within this. So we need to monitor how this move progresses here. It is possible that we're within a 3rd wave still, and that we could be looking for that 4th and a 5th to the push to the upside still to come, and then we're actually looking to break down from that point. But unless we cross this 28.46, we could actually just look to break down again. So we just need to be careful with how this plays out and sort of how these moves, because basically with this, we would expect this wave 1 to be crossed. So technically speaking, we've completed the crossing of this wave 1. So we need to be careful that within this move, there isn't a nestled zigzag, and we just form this as a 1, 2, 3. We form this 4th wave up here. We actually fail to form that additional 4th and 5th and 4th and 5th, and then we actually just start to break down again in an additional 3-wave move, basically. So the only time that would be invalidated is by crossing back above this point here of this 28.46. So we just need to give it a bit more time. We've got our zones from the video now. We're looking for that potential bullish breakout and the potential bearish side of this. So we just need to be careful, see how we react. Losing this low of this 15.33 would indicate to me that actually we have set a 4th wave high point here, and that we're looking for that additional zigzag to the downside. However, should we progress up for a bigger move, we could actually look, like I said, to form this rather as a 1, 2, all of this is a 3, 4, and a 5, and then we look for that retracement, and then we look for another 5-wave move to the upside. Potentially still wouldn't invalidate the potential of lower lows until we really cross back above this 28.46 would be the first point I'd want to cross to sort of look at the option of a more bullish standpoint. But until we do, we're coming up into this previous support zone that we lost. So it's possible we could look to break through, find support, and then look to carry on. However, it is also possible we run into this zone, face rejection, and then actually this triggers a deeper sell-off again. So we just need to be careful. Yeah, that's what we got for the time being. We'll try to keep you up to date as we see the moves playing out, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not join us in the Discord? It's free to join. Come in there in the general chat area, just add mention a member of staff. We'll be happy to help you out. Also in the description below, you'll find an affiliate link to BYBIT, great exchange to do trading on. It's the one we use, whether that's spot trading, leverage trading, really is a great exchange. Okay, so we're going to leave it there. We'll see you in the next video. Take care and enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody.